The power of honesty in a corrupt world. In today's world, honesty is often seen as a burden rather than a blessing. The honest woman knows this truth all too well. She lives in a society where lies are polished and presented as success, where dishonesty is often rewarded with comfort, and where people sometimes admire the one who manipulates more than the one who sacrifices. Yet, despite the pressures, despite the temptations, she refuses to compromise her integrity. She chooses the narrow road of truth while others walk the wide road of deceit. And because of that, she carries a weight that many cannot even begin to imagine. Every act of honesty requires courage. Think about it. How easy it is to remain silent when speaking the truth could create conflict. How easy it is to twist facts when lies would save face. How easy it is to bend values when dishonesty would bring profit. But the honest woman does none of this. She speaks truth even when her voice shakes. She stays firm even when her heart feels heavy. She refuses to betray her principles, even when it costs her relationships, opportunities, or comfort. This is not weakness. This is a form of strength that goes far beyond physical endurance. It is the strength of the soul. The burden of honesty is invisible, yet it is real. It is not something she can place on her back and set down at night. It lives in her chest, in her mind, in her conscience. When she lays her head to rest, her thoughts are not clouded with guilt or shame, but they are heavy with the price she has paid for truth. The arguments she did not win, the jobs she did not take, the easy paths she did not choose, all weigh upon her shoulders. But at the same time, there is a light in her heart that no dishonest person will ever know, the peace of alignment between her actions and her soul. An honest woman is not just honest for herself. She becomes a mirror in which others see their own reflections. Her presence silently challenges the dishonest. Her truth exposes hidden lies, and her integrity forces people to confront their own choices. This makes her journey even harder, because she does not simply carry her own burden. She carries the reactions, the judgments, and sometimes even the hostility of those who cannot handle her truth. And yet, through all of this, her honesty is her crown. It separates her from the ordinary. It elevates her character, and it makes her a living example of courage in a world that desperately needs it. Yes, honesty brings struggle, but it also brings dignity, and dignity is far more precious than applause, approval, or profit. So when we say the honest woman carries the heaviest burden, we are not exaggerating. Her burden is the constant fight to remain pure in a polluted world, the daily decision to stand tall while others bow to compromise, and the quiet endurance of battles no one else can see. But with every battle she faces, she grows stronger, more radiant, and more unshakable. The weight of responsibility. Responsibility is never light, but when placed on the shoulders of an honest woman, it becomes a mountain. Why? Because honesty naturally attracts trust, and trust always comes with responsibility. When people recognize that she speaks truth without agenda, that her actions are rooted in sincerity, they begin to lean on her. They place their secrets in her keeping, their problems in her hands, their hopes in her heart. She does not seek this role, yet it finds her again and again. Honesty has a way of making someone a beacon, and wherever there is light, people gather. But carrying responsibility is not simply about listening to others or giving advice. It is about absorbing weight that others cannot handle. The honest woman often becomes the one everyone turns to when things go wrong, because she will not deceive, she will not abandon, and she will not betray. In a family, she may be the one who sacrifices her dreams to hold everyone together. In a workplace, she may be the one who stays late to ensure things are done fairly. In society, she may be the one who speaks truth when everyone else stays silent. Each of these roles adds another stone to the burden she carries. And the weight of this responsibility is not always visible. People may see her smile, her calmness, her ability to handle situations, but what they do not see is the toll it takes on her spirit. They do not see the nights she spends in silent tears, the exhaustion she hides behind strength, or the countless times she puts herself last so that others may stand. The honest woman does not just carry her own struggles. She carries the unspoken worries of her children, the unhealed wounds of her friends, the unresolved tensions of her community. She bears all of this not because she must, but because her heart will not allow her to turn away. This responsibility is heavy because it is constant. It does not clock out at 5 in the evening. It does not go away during vacations. It follows her in every decision she makes. Should she speak up when she sees injustice? Should she forgive when others would retaliate? Should she guide when others would ignore? The honest woman knows that every choice carries weight, and she feels that weight far more deeply than most because her conscience does not allow shortcuts. Yet it is precisely this responsibility that shapes her into a pillar. The honest woman becomes a foundation that others can build on, a safe place in a world filled with uncertainty. She may bend, but she does not break. She may feel weary, but she does not abandon her post. Her responsibility is heavy, yes, but it is also sacred. It turns her into a leader without title, a guide without recognition, and a protector without reward. So when we say that the honest woman carries the heaviest burden, part of that truth lies in responsibility. She is not just responsible for herself. She becomes responsible for everyone who places their trust in her. And though that weight is crushing at times, it is also the very thing that makes her extraordinary, the loneliness of truth. The journey of an honest woman is not only heavy with responsibility, it is often walked in silence and solitude. The truth, by its very nature, separates her from the crowd. While lies create temporary comfort and alliances, truth has a way of cutting through illusions and exposing what people would rather keep hidden. And because she refuses to compromise, she often finds herself standing alone, even in a room full of people. Loneliness for the honest woman is not about the absence of company, but about the absence of understanding. Many around her cannot comprehend why she refuses to take the easy way out. They cannot understand why she would sacrifice profit for principle or comfort for conscience. While others laugh at quick gains, she carries the weight of long-term integrity. While others hide behind masks, she refuses to wear one. This refusal creates a distance between her and the world, an invisible wall built not from arrogance, but from principle. And this distance is painful. She may lose friends who find her too serious. She may be left out of circles where dishonesty is the currency. She may be mocked for her simplicity, or ridiculed for her refusal to play the game. At times, she may even be betrayed by those she trusted most, simply because her honesty makes others uncomfortable. Her truth holds up a mirror, and not everyone wants to face their reflection. But in this loneliness lies a profound gift. The honest woman discovers a connection far deeper than any shallow companionship, the connection with God, with her conscience, and with her higher self. When the world turns its back, she learns to lean on her Creator. When others reject her, she discovers that inner strength grows strongest in solitude. She finds that being alone in truth is more powerful than being surrounded by people in falsehood. The loneliness of truth also sharpens her soul. It teaches her resilience. It teaches her patience. It teaches her that silence is not weakness but a form of strength that the world cannot shake. It shows her that not every battle needs an audience, and not every stand needs applause. Her courage is not validated by the crowd. It is validated by the light within her that refuses to go out, no matter how dark the night becomes. And so, while loneliness may feel like a burden, it is also a sanctuary. In her quiet moments, she refines her faith. In her tears, she learns compassion. In her isolation, she gains clarity that many will never know. The honest woman may feel the sting of standing alone, but she also feels the blessing of knowing that she has not betrayed herself. So yes, the path of truth is lonely, but it is also sacred. It strips away the false and leaves only the pure. And though the honest woman walks this path with fewer companions, she walks it with dignity, with courage, and with the assurance that even if the world misunderstands her, heaven bears witness to her every step. Sacrifices hidden behind her smile. When people look at an honest woman, they often see her strength, her calmness, and the grace she carries into every situation. They may admire her resilience, respect her words, or even lean on her in times of need. But what most people fail to see are the sacrifices hidden behind her smile. Every day, she makes choices that cost her something, choices that others might never even notice, yet choices that shape her entire existence. An honest woman sacrifices ease for principle. It would be easier to stay silent when truth is inconvenient, but she chooses to speak. It would be easier to cut corners when no one is watching, but she chooses to do the right thing. It would be easier to join the crowd and compromise her values, but she chooses to stand apart. These decisions, small as they may appear to others, demand great strength. They chip away at her comfort, but they preserve her soul. She also sacrifices opportunities. In a world that often rewards dishonesty, the honest woman might lose jobs, promotions, or financial gain simply because she refuses to play dirty. She will not bribe her way forward, flatter her way into power, or deceive her way into success. And though this costs her dearly in material terms, she holds on to something far more valuable: her dignity. The world may measure her sacrifices as loss, but she measures them as victories of conscience. Even in relationships, her sacrifices run deep. She may forgive when she has every reason to walk away. She may love without condition, even when it means enduring pain. She may stand loyal to people who would never carry the same burden for her. And yet, she continues to give, because her honesty does not allow her to fake love, fake care, or fake loyalty. Her heart is genuine, and genuine hearts often bleed the most. Perhaps the heaviest sacrifice is the one she makes within herself. She often buries her own desires for the sake of others. She puts her children's needs before her own dreams, her family's well-being before her own comfort, her principles before her own success. And still, she carries herself with grace, concealing the weight of it all behind a smile that tells the world, "I am fine," even when she is breaking inside. But here lies the beauty. Her sacrifices are not wasted. They become the very source of her power. Every time she gives up something for the sake of truth, she gains something deeper within herself: strength, clarity, compassion, and wisdom. Like fire refines gold, her sacrifices refine her soul. The smile she wears is not the mask of someone who has lost. It is the crown of someone who has chosen integrity over compromise, authenticity over pretense, and love over selfishness. So when we see an honest woman smiling, we must remember, behind that smile is a battlefield of sacrifices we may never fully understand. She carries wounds we do not see, losses we cannot measure, and struggles she does not voice. Yet she chooses to smile, not because her burden is light, but because her spirit is unbreakable. The spiritual reward of carrying the burden. The honest woman may carry the heaviest burden on earth, but heaven is watching every step she takes. What looks like endless struggle to the world is in reality a sacred test, one that comes with a reward no worldly recognition can match. For every tear she wipes away in silence, for every sacrifice she hides behind her smile, for every injustice she bears with patience, she is writing a story that eternity itself will honor. The spiritual reward of honesty is not always visible in the present moment. The world may not celebrate her integrity. People may overlook her sacrifices. Sometimes, she may feel as though her struggles are unseen, her battles unappreciated, and her pain unnoticed. Yet, in the unseen realm, her name is being written with light. Every burden she carries with sincerity is being transformed into blessings that flow into her heart and ripple into her future. One of the greatest rewards she experiences is peace of mind. Unlike those who live double lives, hiding behind lies or deceit, she lays her head at night with a clear conscience. This inner peace is priceless. It cannot be bought with wealth, it cannot be earned through power, and it cannot be faked with words. It is the quiet assurance that comes from knowing she stood by truth, even when it cost her dearly. That peace is a spiritual gift, one that carries her through storms stronger than any material possession ever could. The honest woman also receives strength from her Creator. The more weight she carries, the more unseen strength she is given. Life does not break her, it refines her. The world does not crush her, it shapes her. While others may wonder how she endures betrayal, rejection, or loss, she knows her strength does not come from herself alone. It comes from a higher source that pours into her spirit when her own energy runs dry. Her burden becomes her bridge to God. Each struggle a reminder that she is not walking alone. And then there is the reward of character. Every trial she faces, every sacrifice she makes, and every temptation she resists polishes her soul like a diamond. She may not see it at first, but with time, her spirit shines with wisdom, compassion, and dignity. Others look at her and feel safe, inspired, and guided, because her honesty has carved her into a person whose presence itself is healing. This too is a reward, the ability to influence lives not by force, but by example. Most of all, the honest woman is promised eternal honor. In this life, she may be overlooked, she may be misunderstood, she may even be rejected. But in the life to come, the scales will be balanced. Her patience will be rewarded, her sacrifices will be repaid, and her burdens will be lifted. The heaviness she carried on earth will transform into a crown of light. The tears she shed in secret will become jewels of honor, and the pain she endured in silence will echo as triumph in eternity. So yes, the honest woman carries the heaviest burden, but it is also the most blessed, for her struggle is not in vain. Every ounce of weight she bears today is preparing her for a glory that no one can take away. A call to honor her strength. To see an honest woman is to witness a miracle in motion. She is walking proof that integrity is still alive, that dignity is still possible, and that truth still has a place in this world. And yet, too often, her strength is taken for granted. Too often, people lean on her without realizing the weight she already carries. Too often, her sacrifices are dismissed as ordinary, when in reality, they are extraordinary acts of courage. That is why it is time for us to pause, to reflect, and to honor her strength. An honest woman should never be mistaken for weak simply because she does not shout about her pain. Her silence is not defeat, it is discipline. Her tears are not a sign of fragility, they are evidence of a heart that still feels deeply in a world that has grown numb. When she continues to love after being betrayed, when she continues to give after being drained, when she continues to hope after being disappointed, this is not weakness, this is unmatched resilience. To honor her means to acknowledge that her strength is not loud, but it is unshakable. We must also learn to support her. Too often, the honest woman stands alone, expected to hold everyone else together while no one asks if she herself is falling apart. To honor her means to share her burden, to listen to her voice, to stand beside her when the world pushes against her. It means reminding her that she does not always have to be the strong one, that she too deserves protection, love, and care. Respecting her strength is not just admiring her, it is uplifting her. For the men who encounter her, honoring her means never exploiting her sincerity. It means valuing her loyalty, her truthfulness, and her love as treasures, not as tools to be used. For the women who walk alongside her, it means celebrating her victories instead of envying them, and learning from her example instead of doubting it. And for society as a whole, it means shifting our admiration away from the false glitter of deception and placing it where it truly belongs, on the radiance of honesty. But this call is not only about honoring her, it is also about becoming like her. Each of us has a choice, to live lightly in dishonesty or to carry the heavier but holier burden of truth. The honest woman's life is a message to us all, a reminder that integrity may cost us comfort, but it gives us something priceless, the respect of our own soul. If she can carry her burden with such grace, then surely we too can choose courage over compromise, dignity over deceit, and faith over fear. So to every honest woman listening, know this: your strength does not go unseen. Even when people overlook you, heaven records you. Even when the world misunderstands you, God understands you. Even when your burden feels unbearable, your spirit remains unbreakable. You are the silent revolution this world desperately needs, the light that darkness cannot extinguish, and the living proof that honesty, though heavy, is the path to true greatness. Let us not only honor you with words but with action, by carrying a little of your spirit in our own lives. For if more people carried the burden of honesty, the world itself would be lighter. As we come to the end of this reflection, let us pause and truly absorb the message of the honest woman's journey. Her life is not an easy one. She is not celebrated for shortcuts or praised for playing the world's games. Instead, she is tested, stretched, and weighed down by responsibilities, sacrifices, loneliness, and burdens that others cannot even see. And yet, through it all, she stands tall, carrying a silent crown that is not made of jewels, but of integrity. The honest woman's story is not just about her struggles, it is about her triumphs. Every time she chooses truth over lies, she wins. Every time she chooses patience over revenge, she wins. Every time she chooses sacrifice over selfishness, she wins. These victories may not appear on billboards or trend on social media, but they are written deep in the fabric of eternity. They are victories that echo in the hearts of those who watch her, quietly inspiring others to walk with more courage, more dignity, and more faith. We must remember that her burden is not a punishment, it is a calling. Not everyone is chosen to carry such weight. It takes a rare soul, a rare courage, a rare resilience to live with honesty in a world that often worships dishonesty. Her struggles are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of divine trust. She is given a heavier load because her spirit has been chosen to carry it, and through it, to light the way for others. But this conclusion is not only about her, it is also about us. The honest woman's life is a mirror, reflecting back to each of us the choices we make. Do we carry our own share of truth, or do we shift our burdens onto others? Do we honor honesty when we see it, or do we take advantage of it? Do we stand beside those who choose the harder path, or do we leave them to walk alone? The answer to these questions determines not only how we treat the honest woman, but how we ourselves are shaping our destiny. To every honest woman listening, your tears are not wasted, your sacrifices are not forgotten, your burdens are not meaningless. You are carrying something that matters far more than wealth, applause, or recognition. You are carrying the essence of what keeps this world from collapsing completely into corruption. You are the proof that goodness still exists, that faith still survives, and that truth still has warriors. Your crown may be invisible now, but it is real, and one day the world will see it shine. So let us leave with this prayer and this promise. May we never overlook the honest woman again. May we support her, respect her, and learn from her. And may we carry a piece of her courage within ourselves. For if she can bear the heaviest burden with grace, then surely we can carry our own with honor. And when history remembers this generation, let it not be for its lies, but for the light carried by women of truth, women who, with every heavy step, taught us all the meaning of real strength.